the beginning of the human existence. It was the 5.6 millions ago, millions 5.6 millions ago. That was the first human-like creature appeared on the earth surface. मतलब कह रहा है कि 5.6 लाख साल मिलियन के और क्या होता कि फर्स्ट ह्यूमन लाइक स्ट्रक्चर देखने को मिला था ना अर्थ सरफेस पे। तो पहले क्वेश्चन बन सकता है कि ह्यूमन लाइक क्रिएचर देखने को कब मिला था? 5 साल पहले अर्थ पे। एंड आफ्टर दिस उसके बाद सेवरल फॉर्म्स ऑफ द ह्यूमन इमर्ज एंड पहले एंड उभर के आए एंड देन बिकम एग्जिटिंग और क्या होगा आगे जाके वो क्या विलुप्त भी हो गए। ह्यूमन बिगिंस रिजेंबलिंग us henceforth referred to as the modern humans or originated about 1.6 million years ago. During this long period of the human history, people often food by either escaving, escavenging or hunting animals and gathers and plant produce. They also learn how to make the stone tools, communicate with other. Although other way the obtained food were adopted later, hunting gatherers continue. Even today, there are hunter-gatherer society in some part of the world. This makes us the wonder whether and the lifestyle of the present hunter-gatherers can tell us anything about past. Discover of the human fossils. फॉसिल्स का मतलब क्या होता है कि फॉसिल्स का मतलब ये होता है कि जो कोई भी चीज़ जो है वो क्या इम्प्रेशन ऑफ प्लांट का, एनिमल्स का, ह्यूमन्स का जो क्या स्टोन के बीच में हो और जो लंबे समय तक क्या हो प्रिजर्व हो रॉक। इसका क्या कि कोई भी प्लांट हो, एनिमल्स हो या फिर ह्यूमन हो, उनका इम्प्रेशन हो कहाँ रहें स्टोन पे रहे, उसे क्या कहते हैं मिलता है फॉसिल्स। The stone cap painting help to understand early human history. क्या कर सकता है कि डिस्कवर ऑफ द ह्यूमन फॉसिल्स, स्टोन्स, टूल्स एंड कैप पेंटिंग्स हेल्प करता है क्या अंडरस्टैंडिंग द ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री का। ह्यूमन अर्ली ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री को हम समझने में क्या क्या हेल्प करता है? तो एक तो डिस्कवरी ऑफ ह्यूमन फॉसिल्स, स्टोन टूल्स, कैप पेंटिंग्स, ये हमें देख समझने में क्या करता है, हेल्प करता है इतिहास को। ईच ऑफ दिस डिस्कवरी हैज़ द हिस्टोरियन ऑफ इट्स ऑन। ये क्या कहता है? ईच ऑफ दिस डिस्कवरी, जो ये प्रत्येक जो खोज हुई है, ये जो डिस्कवरी हुई है, क्या था इसमें खुद की एक इतिहास होती है। एंड वेरी बहुत अक्सर क्या होता है कि व्हेन सच फाइंड्स वेयर फर्स्ट मेड जो होता है, मोस्ट स्कॉलर refused most refused to accept that these fossils were the remains of the early human. They were skeptical about the ability of early human to make stone tools or pants. It was only over a period of the time that the true significance of this find was realized. The evidence of the human evolution comes from the fossils species of the human of humans. जो ह्यूमन्स की प्रजातियाँ होती हैं जो फॉसिल्स कह रहा है। द एविडेंस ऑफ फॉर ह्यूमन evolutions comes from the fossils of species of the humans। जो फॉसिल्स क्या होते हैं तो ह्यूमन के जो प्रजाति होती है फॉसिल्स जो आई हैं उसे विच हैव बिकम द एग्जिस्टिंग मतलब विलुप्त होते हैं। फॉसिल्स कैन बी डेटेड either through the direct chemical analysis or indirect by the dating of the sedimented in which they are born on fossils are dated. A sequence of the human evolution can be worked out when such a discovery were the first made about those years ago, 200 years ago. Many scholars were often reluctant to accept the fossils and other finds including the stone tools and paintings were actually connected with the early from the human. This reluctance generally stemmed from their belief in the Old Testament of the Bible, according to which human origin was regarded as an act of creation by the God. For the Incidents on August 850 workmen who were carrying for the limestone in the Nedar Valley or got near the German city of Dusseldorf found found some of the skeleton fragments. There were the handed covered and carved wrote and local schoolmaster and natural historian who realized that they did not belong to a modern humans. He then made a plaster cast of the skull and sent it to uh, Harman Fusion, a professor of the anatomy at the Bonny University. The following years of the journey, the possible paper claiming that of the skull and represented the form of the human that was existing. That the scholar did not accept this the view and declared that the skull belonged to the person more the recent times. Uh, 24 November 1859, when Charles Darwin on the origin of the species was published, the mark of the landmark in the study of evolution. The on 100 1250 copies of the first print were sold out the same day, drawing the ag- argued that the human had evolved from the animals in the long time. The story of a human evolution. Look at the four skulls and look and belong on a apple. Uh, belong to the species of the Aus- Australopithecus, and they belong to the species of the Homo erectus, and the species of the Homo species of the man which represented the human beings belong. Listen the many similarity and the difference that you notice looking carefully at the brain case jaw and teeth. The difference that you notice in the skull shown in the illustration are some of the changes that come about as a result of the human evolution. The story of the human evolution in mostly long and somewhat complicated. There are also many unanswered questions that the new data often lead to the revision and the modification of early understanding. Let us look at the sum of the development and their implication more closely. It is possible to trace this development back to between 36 and 24 million years ago. We sometimes find it difficult to conceptualize such a long span of the time. If you consider the page of your book and represent one 10,000 years itself with a vast span of the time. 10 pages would be represent the 10 years, and 100 pages equal the 1 year. To think the 6.36 million years you had be imagine the book long that was and the uh, primates category of mammals emerged in the Asia Africa subcontinent by about the 20 For me, there are emerged in the subgroup and among the primates called the hominoids. This includes apes and the much later, about 5.6 million years ago, we found evidence of the first hominoids. Well, hominids have evolved from the hominoids and share the certain common features. There are major differences as well. Hominoids have a smaller brain than the hominids. They are quadrupeds along the quadrupeds along walking on the fours and work with the flexibles. Hominids itself is certain common feature. There are major differences. Hominids have the smaller brains and then hominids they are quadrupeds walking on the four but flexible on the four limbs. Hominids by the contrast have and the upright posture and the bipedal locomotions walking on the 2 feet. There are also marked different in the hand which enable to making and use to tools. We will examine the kind of the tools made their significance more closely later. The tool end of the evidence suggests in the apparent for hominids. First, it is the group of apes that was the most closely related of the hominids. Second, the earliest hominids fossils belong to the genus Australopithecus, have been found in the East Africa and date back to the about 5.6 million. In the contrast, the fossils found outside Africa are no older than 1.6 million. So the precious grip and chimpanzee with the biggest of the power of the grip and the human hand. So precious grip on the hominoids. The development of the power of the grip probably preceded the precious grip. The compare of the precious grip in the chimpanzee with the hominids belong to the family known as the hominid, which include all forms of the human beings. The distinctive the characteristic of the hominids include the large brain size, upright the posture, and bipedal locomotion, and the specialization of the hand. Hominids are the further subdivided into the branch known as genus of which Australopithecus and Homo are the important. Each of these in the term include the several species. Each of these in the term include the several species. The major difference between the uh, Australopithecus which is and the Homo related in the brain size, jaw and teeth. The former has a smaller brain size, heavier jaw, and large teeth than the latter. The virtue of the name given by the scientists of the specialist derived from the Latin Greek word, for instance, name of the Australopithecus comes from the Latin word astral, which is the southern, and the Greek मतलब होता है what the name was the given because the earliest form of the human still retain many features of an ape, such as the relatively small brain in the comparison of the Homo, large back teeth, and limited dexterity of the hands. Upright walk was also restricted as they spend a lot of the time on the tree and retain the characteristic such along upper limbs, curved hand and foot bones and mobile ankles joints suited to a life on the tree. Over time, all the tool making and the long distance walking and increase the many humans characteristic also development. The remain of the early humans have been classified into the different species. These are often distinguishing from the one another on the basis of the difference in the bone structure for the incident species of the early humans and the difference in the term of their skill side and distinctive jaws. These characteristics have been evolved due to what has been called the positive feedback mechanisms. For example, uh, bipedalism enable handles to be frayed for the carrying in front of the object. In turn, as the hand were used more and more, upright walking and gradually became the more efficient. Apart from the advantage of the freeing hand for the various uses of or less energy of the consumed while the walking as compared to the movement of the quadruped. However, the advantage in term of the saving energy in the reverse will running. This is the indirect evidence of the bipedalism as early as 3.6 million years ago. These come from a fossilized hominid or footprints at the and Tanzania or the fossils, limb and bones recovered from the herders. Ethiopia provide more direct evidence of the bipedalism. Around the 2.5 million ago, with the onset of a phase of the glacial ice age when large part of the earth was covered with snow, there were major changes in the climate and vegetation due to the reduction in the temperature as well as rainfall. Grassland areas and expanded at the expense of forest, leading of the gradual extinction of the early form of the Australopithecus they were adopted to the forest and the replacement and by the species they were better adopted and their condition among this were and the earliest representative of the genome. Homo is a Latin word meaning the man, although there is the woman as well. Scientific distinction among the several type of the Homo. The name assignment is the species of uh, private uh, from what they regarded as their typical characteristic as a fossils are the classified in the Homo habilis, Bookmaker, Homo erectus, the upright man, and Homo species, the vicious thinking man. The fossils of the Homo habilis have been discovered at the Homo in Ethiopia and Odegagogi in the Tanzania. At the earliest fossil of the Homo erectus have been found in both Africa and Asia. Kubifora and West Turkana, Kenya, Modjokito and Shangiran in Java as the likely hominids in the migrate from the Asia. Hello, Prema Prevantik. How can help this?
Some of the name of the fossils are derived from the place where the first fossils of particular type were found. So fossils found the Heidelberg a city, Heidelberg a city, in the German was classified of the Homo classified of the Homo and German is called the Homo heidelbergensis. This is several those the found of the Nether Valley and were characterized as the Homo neanderthalensis. This is the earliest fossils from the Europe are of the Homo heidelberg, Heidelberg Genesis and the Homo neanderthalensis both belong of the species of the Archaeans. Homo sapiens. The fossils of the Homo heidelbergensis have a wide distribution, having been found in the Africa, America, Europe. The Neanderthals occupied Europe and the western of the Central Asia from the roughly 1.3 million and 3.5 millions ago. There are disappear in the Arab in the Western Europe and the in generally compared with the Astrota. The Homo have a larger brain and jaw and the reduce the outward of protrusion and the smaller teeth. Uh, Increase the brain size associated with the more intelligence and the better memory and the chance of the jaw and the teeth were probably related differences in the dietary habits. Chapter was at the beginning of the human existence. It was the 5.6 million years ago that was the first human-like creature appear on the Earth's surface. After this, the several forms of human emerged and then become the existence.
हाँ ना चलो थोड़ी सी क्यों दिया वो तो खाता नहीं नहीं माने पेड़ का तो थोड़ी सी खा लिया अबे साल तुझे दांत मानो कमजोर कर दी बेटा ठीक है
हाउ डू यू नो, तो हम लोग कैसे जानेंगे लोगों के बारे में, तो हाउ डू यू नो अबाउट दिस people? The archaeologists have found some of the things uncovered made of the used, and it is a likely period, and they use the tool, a stone, and wood, bone, which stone tools have the survived best. Some of the stone, तो उनके stone tools, bone, wood, and have served wide waste. Some of the tools were used to cut the meat, bone, scrap the bark uh, from the tree and the hidden animals, skin, chop the fruits and roots. Some may have been attached to the handle of the bones. The wood make the appear to the arrow of the hunting and other tools and were used to the chop wood which was the used to the firewood and wood also used to the make of the hunt hut and tools. See on map in the like in the, all these places marked with the red triangular the side of the finger which the archaeology have the found the dens of the hunter gatherers and hunter gather live in the many more places and only some of the showed in the map. Many cities were located near source of the water and such as the river and lakes. The stone tools were important. People tried to find the place where the good quality of the stone was easily available. Many of the terraces in the early people lived and the painting on the other walls some of the best example of them from the Madhya Pradesh and southern Uttar Pradesh paintings show the animals draw with the great accuracy of their skills. Finding about the fire.